Hi, this is Knowing Through Growing. I'm Sherry, and this is Carl. And today we have Dr. Linda Westman. She's a chiropractor and intuitive, and she's going to talk to us about how to heal ourselves physically, how our thoughts and emotions affect us physically.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to share what I've learned as a chiropractor. I help people with back pain, neck pain, and what I learned very early on was that sometimes the muscles were just so tight. So I used the skill of kinesiology, muscle testing, asking the body, for a yes, it switched on, and for a no, it was switched off. So I asked them, when was the first time this happened? And with the muscle testing, I could say, was it during this life? Yes. Was it after birth? No. Sometimes it would be no. The first time was before birth. And that was so fascinating to me. But I was supported in doing that work by Louise Hay, who has this book, Heal Your Body. And in this book, it had the vertebrae. Because I'm a chiropractor, I saw that all these different vertebrae were related to different organs, and she had studied them and related the different vertebrae to different states. Like the second vertebrae that was locked out in somebody related to being connected, being over like so much work, and so there's different emotional states. We won't go into the specifics, but I learned as a chiropractor when someone had a vertebrae out and I muscle tested to see if I have a right to be me or I grow beyond my parents' limitations. Sometimes it was switched off. So then I would ask, when was the very first time that there was an issue? And it sometimes would take me back earlier on in the womb, or even at the moment of when parents discovered they were pregnant, or even when the parents were just together. It was amazing to me, totally amazing. And the reason I was fascinated with this and went in this direction was because of my own feelings about myself. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel loved. It was around circumstances in my own childhood. And as a result of that, I was passionate to help other people have more self-appreciation and joy and fun in their lives, deserving. What I would do is ask people, what I do now, what do you want? Write your list of items of what is working in your life, what doesn't work, and what you actually want. What is it that you wish you had now that you don't have? And then I'll muscle test them about their desirability. I deserve to have, or I not just deserving, that's part of it. And then the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. The conscious mind, for one lady, I'm ready to have a boyfriend. She switched on. But when I checked the body, the unconscious mind, it switched off. So what I wanted to say in this introduction was that I became aware that there were unconscious thoughts and beliefs inside of me that were making me choose things in my life that were not making me happy. So because of my own pattern, I wanted to help others. And when I see somebody come in kind of like this and, oh, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, and we find out when it started and look at it with the more mature adult mind and integrate the unconscious, what's running the program behind the scenes, with the conscious mind, bring those two things together. They go out, their faces are more relaxed, they look younger, they're happy, and I feel so good. So that's my introduction. It was a little long. I apologize.
It's a lot. It's fascinating. I'm trying to understand the on and off thing that you're talking about. If you don't mind me.
Right. Oh, that's so important.
Right.
If I say my name is Linda, my muscle switches on. It says, I relate to that. My name is Linda. If I say my name is light bulb, the muscle
Okay,
doesn't
so you
switch
can
on.
actually see, you can actually feel a tension or see a tension. You can measure a tension in the muscle.
Yeah,
That,
and
that
if
is,
I back up, you can do it with the deltoid muscle. When I back up here, I can do it with the deltoid muscle. It should be straight across like this. And if you are pushing, like if you can do it for food also. So, okay, my name is Linda, it switches on. My name is Chair, it switches off. You
Okay.
can feel it, you can see it if you use a big muscle and
I see.
with your arm. You can see it on stage. When you put sugar in somebody's mouth, this big muscle guy with massive muscles, powerhouse, you put sugar in his mouth and it switches off. So it can be used with nutrition as well.
Wow, that's an amazing science. I'm intrigued.
Well, you're right. It's a science, but it's also an art because what we're thinking affects the results. So you do have to make sure, for one thing, that you have a yes and a no, and also that they don't need water. You're drinking coffee right now, is that right? Because
That's correct.
coffee dehydrates people. And when we have low water, that can also make the test less accurate. So when you become a muscle testing person, you learn to integrate the two sides of the brain, and you learn to have enough water, and you learn to make sure they're not in the fear mode in which everything is yes. My name is Harry, everything is yes, and I don't have a no.
Oh.
Right.
Which creates a lot of stress, and that will actually push the bones out of place. Is that?
Oh,
Kind of
that's
like,
another topic.
Okay.
That's another different topic.
I just related it to chiropractic work.
Well, you can use it for chiropractic work. You can just put your finger over the spine, say this is a spine, and you just, your muscle testing as you slide over the bottom of the spine, and where there's a tight area of loss of flow of the energy, the muscle will switch off. You're right. It's perfect. Yes. Well, that's one way. And then another way is to just test every muscle in the body, which will guide you to knowing what's wrong on the organ level.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
It's more than simple.
So many connections.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So people can actually try using kinesiology at home, right?
Yes, thank you. There are many different ways to test yourself, and you can look it up online. Thank you, Sherry. Good point. Yeah, they can test for their own. Do I need this vitamin C? Do I need one? Do I need two? Do I need three? No, I just need two of these. So holding these two together, if it's tight, you can't pull your finger through it. That's one way. And there are books, and you can learn different ways as well.
Nice.
It is.
I'm going to have to look into that.
Uh-huh.
So on your audio sound therapy stuff, can you explain some of that?
Yes. So you use cymatics or sound healing. So can you explain how sound can affect us? How can sound change us physically or heal us?
Yes. For example, what we were talking about earlier, one of the bones in the body relates to the grow beyond my parents' limitations. So that one, I was going to say that if the parents are difficult to handle, some kids have had parents that were very difficult, almost like they were dead set against them, like they wanted to make their lives difficult. And other times it's just they're struggling in their own lives. I mean, that's probably the way it is. So when I have the AMI, it's called the AMI 1000. I have this tool that was designed by Cyma Technologies based in Atlanta. or maybe Augusta now. And this has 800 frequencies in it, and programmed. And those frequencies are actually combinations of 4 or 5 different frequencies forming a harmonic. Harmonics are very powerful for our body, as evidenced by the monks who were chanting. And when they stopped chanting after Vatican II, they became sick, and they were like depressed. They didn't have energy to do all the things they did, the farming and everything. So
the sound of Om you're speaking of? Om.
no, this is the monks that did the Gregorian chants.
Okay.
And they actually form harmonics. So when the Dr. Tomatis worked with them, I mean, they started eating meat, and that didn't work. But Dr. Tomatis put them on a regime of chanting, and then their energy came back, and they weren't depressed anymore.
Wow. So wow. Okay. Go ahead.
And this uses the harmonics also. The combination of 5 different frequency is positive for the body, and the chanting is a demonstration of it, what happened to them and getting back their health and no longer depressed. So that is something that we can do. We can chant, or we can listen to that music that mellows us out, like the Om. We can listen to those Om records, and we can do it ourselves. Our voices are so powerful. I would like to add something that people can do themselves when they're feeling like I'm feeling really like, I have so much I want to share in a short period of time. So it sounds like, so I'm matching that sound. I start with that, and then I'm going to change it. Oh, you just play with the sound. And so that intensity that I was feeling, because I'm going, oh, I got to get all this in clearly, I just mellowed out. That is something that we can do. You match your feelings with a tone. You're a musician. You know about sound frequencies. You know how you've shifted.
Right. That's a big subject there, especially in the music world, with the 440 hertz versus 444 hertz thing, and 432 hertz. That's a long story, the whole different topic.
But another topic that
important. I agree 100%. The stones, the crystals, and frequencies. Light has frequency. So what you're doing is just very interesting. I would love to know all the connections. So how do you go about performing?
So what I was saying is, if there's a parent that's causing a lot of issue, or some issue, school, a teacher, a professor, you're a good artist, and your art professor is threatened by you. You're getting your master's, and then you get this teacher who loves what you're doing, but is giving you a hard time. So then when you think about that person, you play this frequency. And this frequency is actually a vibration. It's low. It's go do 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 do. Maybe if the other ones aren't low like this. I'm wondering where the microphone is on this computer. I wonder if it will come through. At any rate, when you think about that situation where you're short of breath because here you are, you're very talented, and somebody's standing right in your way, it's like, God, how could this be? Well, if you think about the times, and then see, I muscle test and ask, when was the first time you were really skilled at knowledgeable and becoming appreciated, and someone, something, some organization was threatened by it? So we go back through all time and space, past, present, and future, generational, father's family, 5 generations back. Maybe somebody was a big artist then, or a musician, a composer, or on mother's side. So we work with generational, the causes, going back, was it generational? Was it another life experience somewhere? So what we do is use this sound frequency during to help the body, the physical body, release the stress around that issue. So then when mom calls with her usual thing, you can be neutral, kind. You can become kind instead of flip out and going, oh, I'm going,
Right,
destroying my
right.
life. No, she's not destroying your life. Yeah, so you can handle it. That's what I do. So people leave with much less stress.
All
Any
right, great.
questions?
Thank you, Linda. We just have a few minutes left. So do you have an exercise that we could do to help us at home, uh, you know, affect our
Well,
emotions, heal ourselves with sound at home?
oh, yes. Yes, I do. And it's intensified, it's focused. In other words, you bring your hands out in front of you. It's called the Cook's hookup, and put one wrist over the other wrist
So we're like, okay,
and interlock your fingers.
okay.
And you can do it, yeah, and then let your hands rest in your lap and also put one ankle over the other ankle. What you're doing now is for your body, bringing the past, the back behind you, in connection with what's in front of you, what you see, and then what your body mind might have been not wanting to look at in the past, perhaps. And also the right to the left. And on the right side is the masculine. The left side relates to feminine. I have stories to tell about how that became aware that that's very accurate. And you inhale, and you can do the Om Carl mentioned. Om. You can do it silently. You can hum. It tickles my lips.
So that's really very
3 breaths.
interesting. Now, what you were saying about when you do the healing on people, basically it's an association of the thought of that person. So when that person comes into your life, or that stressor, whatever it might be, comes into your life, you would have your body would automatically go to that muscle state because of the association between them.
It would go into the sympathetic response, which is get away from the tiger, run.
Right.
And then the problem is the energy shuts off in the digestion and the building, the healing. So we get sick because our immune system is suppressed when we're in the fear mode. So that's why using this position for just 3 breaths, that's the first part. It's a 2-part thing. 3 breaths, and then you put your fingertips together. You're integrating the part that will get us away from the tiger with the intuitive part that can see the big picture, and the musical part and the artistic part that creates a more resourceful response, where you can actually be kind to this older lady who doesn't know any better. If the woman knew better, she would do better.
Right.
Okay.
And we know that, but
Right.
yeah, so this allows us to become the more mature person, allows our souls to grow.
Right. Self-love and is
Right. Good point.
is also part of loving others, right? So that's a good thing. Yeah. That's very beautiful stuff you do there.
May not like them, but we can be kind.
Great. Well, thank you, Linda. Do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to leave us with? And
Oh, I do.
yeah,
Yeah.
how can we find out more about your work that you do?
Okay. Yes, I have a website that is 2 websites. One of them is drlindawestman.com. That talks more about the sound healing and what it has done. It does a lot of things easily. What I mean is it sets the body, it supports the body in functioning optimally or better, supports the body in healing. So the other website is a healthypath.com. That one's not up yet, but it will be, because that one is going to be connecting to a lot of resources. well, both of them will connect to resources. So what I'd like to share is that my phone number, 678-558-8090, that I can connect with people, and I'm traveling. So I'm working in the summertime in August in Albuquerque area. And also I go to Florida and Georgia. And so I'm eager to work with people. Also, I can work over the phone and help assist people, and with the sound even can be used over the phone.
Very nice. We could put all that and share it in the links below. That's really awesome.
Thank you. That would be great. It's been my pleasure. You guys are doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to hearing the breadth about growing, about earth, about how to grow our own high energy food. I'm really looking forward to
our concept of fast food that's healthy.
right,
Real healthy.
We'll be talking about that more in future videos.
Yes, absolutely.
Bravo.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Linda. We really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about all this.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Jerry and Carl.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, and we'll put some links below, and look out for our future videos with Knowing Through Growing.